I just started screaming like, ah! I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm yelling, call an ambulance, call an ambulance. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good evening to some, good afternoon to some. Yes, you see it, okay? So the last time I saw you all was actually back in May. Fast forward 4 months later to August. And boy, oh boy, has a lot of things changed within the last 4 months, right? So I'm in Virginia, still with News 3, WTKR, and meet Gigi. Gigi is just gonna make her cameo appearance. Say hi, Gigi. You wanna get on the floor? No? Come here, Gigi, come here. World, meet Gigi, Gigi, meet world. Gigi's so small and tiny and so calm and quiet. We love a calm, quiet dog. The best thing is she is potty trained. We love a potty trained dog. And I love Gigi. She's so amazing. Hi. Oh, yes, I'm in Virginia and I'll actually be moving to another state next month. I'm excited for a new opportunity, a new journey, new environment, new scenery, meeting new people, building new relationships, and building new connections, honestly. I think it's gonna be a pretty interesting journey. Let me go back actually to March. So last time I saw you all was back in March. Back in March, I got hit by a car, and as a result, I had a broken collarbone, my left collarbone. So I got hit by a car. Let me just walk you. Let's take a walk down memory lane at this point. Memory lane. Hey! Okay. Yeah. So I'm walking out of my building. I live in downtown Norfolk. I look both ways. I don't see anything. I look to my left, my right, don't see anything, right? And I cross the street. Next thing I know, I'm on top of a car's hood, right? And then like boom, 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 rolling off the hood, tumbling into the road. What is happening? Like, what's going on? As soon as I like hit the pavement, I like scurry up to the sidewalk for safety, right? Because at this point, I'm like, oh my gosh. As I'm scurrying to the sidewalk, there's like these two bystanders standing on the sidewalk, and I'm yelling, call an ambulance, call an ambulance, call an ambulance. Okay. And so the ambulance arrives there like fairly quickly. The ambulance gets there within like 5 minutes or less than 5 minutes. So her car was driving when it happened, and we collided. She says she didn't see me. I didn't see her. We both just did not see each other. Okay. And so happened in the middle of the street. So by this point, I'm in the sidewalk waiting for the ambulance to get there. The driver moves her car from the middle of the street to the side of the road. So I didn't realize the magnitude of everything until she moves her car, and there's like this big gash, crack in her windshield. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like her windshield's completely broken. You can see where my left shoulder went into her windshield, right? Crazy thing. That's how my collarbone got broken. And I was literally holding my shoulder. I knew something was not right. I knew something was broken, something was not right. So I was just holding my left shoulder, like, what just happened? I could not move my left shoulder whatsoever at all. Mind you, this is a work day, right? So I'm working this day, right? It's a Wednesday when it happened. I get into the ambulance, they pick me up, put me on the stretcher, put me into the back of the ambulance. As soon as I get to the back of the ambulance, I call my news station, hey, I just got hit by a car. But mind you, at this point, I'm in so much pain. I am boo-hoo crying. Thank God, one of my really good dear friends at the assignment desk, she answers the phone. She's amazing. She answers the phone. I'm like boo-hoo crying, telling her what just happened. Hey, they're about to send me to the emergency room. I think something's broken. I'm in a lot of pain, So hang up with her. They rushed me to the emergency room. I was just so grateful for the people who came to visit me, for the people who sent me food, sent me dinner, who constantly checked up on me, called me, prayed with me, prayed for me. I was so grateful. And, it's in a time like that, I realized the magnitude of having people who care about your well-being, who are there for you throughout the bad times. And I just appreciate so many people just for being there for me. I am so grateful just to have people just be kind to me, you know, check up on me, send me food, send me dinner, come visit me, come pray with me. Like I said, I've never been in that situation before. And I was in the emergency room. So many of my colleagues came to visit me either that day or that week. And my dad flew in that day. So I was in the emergency room 4 p.m. that evening. My dad got there that night from Atlanta, from Georgia. And so, you know, I saw my dad. My dad was actually here in Norfolk for about a week. And so he says, Leandra, why don't you just come back home to Georgia so you can have family look after you? So I went back to Georgia with my dad. He ended up canceling his flight because he had his flight booked and everything. But I didn't want to fly because I had a broken bone. So I was so concerned about the turbulence in the air, like, you know, like the boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, I can just picture me sitting there holding my shoulder like boom, 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 as we're like, you know. So he cancels his flight and he ends up getting a rental car at the airport. So we just drive from Norfolk, Virginia to Georgia, Peachtree City, Georgia, which is like 8 hours. This time being, you know, away from the noise, this time being off has just really allowed me to just sit in my stillness. It's been a very peaceful time. I mean, I've been able to get a lot done and just be at peace. I haven't felt this at peace maybe since I was a child. Because you know, when you're an adult and you're really just grinding it out as an adult, right? And like when you're a child, you don't have to worry about so many different things, right? So it's like I haven't felt this at peace since I was a child. And I love that. It's kind of like almost bringing out the inner child in me, just like going about life free, at a calm pace, at a slower pace. This time has allowed me to just think freely, move around freely, have better energy, honestly, make new connections, make new friendships, spend more time with family. And I mean, this has just honestly been a very beautiful time. In May, I was home for 3 weeks and I haven't had that much time to be home to just sit and be still. And that was such a beautiful time, just to sit and be still and be amongst family, you know, spend a significant amount of time around family. Because, you know, when I do go home, it's very quick. You know, I may fly back home to Georgia for a weekend, but it's so quick to the point where like I'm in and out like that, right? So in May, that was a beautiful time. And then I came back to Norfolk in June to start physical therapy, go to some doctor's appointments, XYZ and stuff like that. And so I remember the first week I came back, I went to like dinner with a friend. And I almost remember that outing, like kind of like my first, it was a very nostalgic feeling. It was like my first outing since like everything happened. And I just remember just being, I'm still in this element, right? Just a calming aura about me that was so soothing, right? I haven't been back home for a long period of time since I was in high school, right? And so when I graduated high school, as you all know, I went to college in Virginia. Shout out to Hampton University, HU, HBCU. Went to college in Virginia. That was my first introduction to Virginia, going to college in Virginia. I didn't want to go to college anywhere close. So that's why I went to Hampton University. They have a really great broadcast journalism program. I should be a spokesperson for their journalism. I speak so highly of HU. That school literally was one of the best decisions I've ever made going there, right? So when I went to Hampton University, when I went to college, of course, I was home for like breaks, like Christmas break, spring break, but every summer, Every summer I was interning in New York City. So, I would only go back home like during like Christmas break, winter break, spring break, and then like a week just before summer, or a week just before I flew up to New York to do my summer internships. Let me take you all to June. So in June, I come back to Norfolk, and all throughout the month of June, I was talking to so many different recruiters. So I've been at my current station in Norfolk for over 4 years, right? And let me preference that by saying, in college, now I went to one of the top HBCUs in the country. We have a really great broadcast journalism program. In college, we were taught to move up markets. We were taught never stay in a small market or mid-sized market for too long if you know you want to be at a certain point in life. So this was never going to be a forever thing, right? It's like, I was taught to continue elevating, right? It's almost as if don't get too comfortable, keep progressing. And so I knew I wasn't going to stay here forever. And I knew there was an expiration date on my time here at Norfolk. And the incident that happened, it was kind of like an aha moment. Like, this is time for you to actually to think freely, and also to have an abundant amount of time to talk to the people you need to talk to the recruiters you need to talk to, and make those connections, right? So throughout the whole month of June, I had like a few different interviews with a few different companies. And I interviewed with at least 3 different companies, right? Yeah, 3 different companies. I applied to a lot of different like positions, like in corporate communications, public relations, news, on air, right? I was only going to stay in news only if I was on air. And so I didn't, whatever came about, that's kind of the wave I was gonna, if I got like a corporate communications position at 6 figures, I was gonna go that route. If I got a news position making 6 figures, I was gonna go that route. And so thankfully, I mean, either route was good. I don't think I was ready to get out of the industry this soon, right? So I ended up thankfully getting a position at an O&O, a CBS owned and operated station. And I mean, God is good. God is really good. In a city that I love and adore. I love the city of Atlanta. There's so much excellence in that city. And so I ended up getting the position, a news position on air, 6 figures. And so this is my first time making 6 figures in a 9-to-5 job capacity, right? I do other things like my entrepreneur stuff, but this is like my first time making this amount of money in a 9-to-5 job. So I'm just so grateful, and God is so good. I think this has just been a really rewarding time these last 4 months, me being able to just think freely and actually, go through the interview process. It was like a 3-week interview process. And I immediately remember when I saw the position, I reached out to people that I knew at CBS News, right? I say this a lot in this industry. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Because I know a lot of journalists, reporters who are better journalist reporters than I am, but they may not have the network that I have, right? They know more than me. They go harder than I do, right? It's just a matter of, at certain levels of the game, it's who you know. And so thankfully, I reached out to my contacts at that network. One of my mentors, she's an anchor for CBS News, Hampton alumni as well. And she really helped me throughout the process, actually me securing the job, which I'm so thankful and so grateful of. So I did 3 rounds of interviews. I was able to be in a space throughout the interview process where I'm able to think freely, talk freely. I didn't have to go into work every single day and then try to fit time in for an interview. which I think that just allowed me to just be so much more calmer during the interview process. So went through the interview process in June. Like I said, I interviewed at 2 other stations in other cities and other states throughout that time period as well. And I found out I got it in early July. So I was headed back to Georgia. My last round of interviews, right? For me, I'm like, if I feel like I did good in the interview process, I just leave it at that. Like, I feel like I did a good job. Like, let's just leave it at that. If they like it, they like it. If they don't, that was highly unlikely. But the energy was very mutual throughout the interview process. And so my last round of interviews, they said you should hear something from us very soon. And so for like the next day and a half, I had my phone on loud. I had my phone like right by me the whole time on loud. Anyone who called me, numbers I didn't recognize, literally, look, I'm picking up on the first ring, like, hello. And so, because I'm waiting for that call. So as I'm headed back to Georgia, I get the notification that I got the position, and I just started screaming like, ah! And like screaming so loud. I was just so happy, ecstatic, you know. Like I said, I knew there was an expiration date on my time here in Norfolk. And so I was so grateful that I got the position that I did get, right? In a city that I love. It's given network news, honestly, like network national news. I'll be reporting in a top 10 news market, which is amazing. And I'm excited. I'm extremely grateful. You know, I thank God so much for this opportunity. You know, one thing I will miss is the bonds and the connections, the friendships that I've made here in Norfolk and in Hampton Roads. I'll definitely miss so many people, but you know, it's not a goodbye. It's more like a see you later, because I'm going to keep in contact with all my friends that I've built relationships with here. I mean, just like great people that I've been able to know and come in contact with, that I love dearly, right? And so I'm excited for the next chapter and very grateful.